Hi there, I'm Ben from Platinum Chasers. With the recent poor offerings in terms of trophies from the PlayStation Plus Instant Game Collection, I thought I'd take a look back at the games I've missed. There were a surprising amount of quick and easy ones, and that's what gave me the idea for this list. This list will be comprised of games that have been available for the PS4 at some point in the Instant Game Collection's lineup. When the Instant Game Collection lineup is announced every month, there's a big emphasis on the big title of the month, and sometimes the smaller, less well-known games get overlooked, but this list will highlight some of the quick and easy little gems that you may have missed. All of the games on this list are well within everybody's range of capability, with the difficulty being around 3 out of 10 or less. Also, all of the games' estimated time to platinum are about 10 hours or less. I am aware that not everyone will have had PS Plus since the PS4 came out, but there is a mixture of new and old, so hopefully there's at least something for everyone on this list. Without further ado, let's get on with it. First up we have Forma 8, which is a pretty cool Metroidvania type of game with an interesting 2D art style. There are no difficulty related trophies to worry about, as there's only one difficulty, which is not very. The bulk of the trophies involve you finding certain collectibles, power-ups or secrets. Forma 8 is actually quite an enjoyable game. It's a slower paced shooter, so you can sit back and relax with it and take your time. With regards to length, if you use a guide you'll probably be done in about 4 or 5 hours. If you don't, obviously it'll be slightly longer. There's not much in the way of a storyline to this game, as it's mainly about exploration, so don't be afraid to use a guide as it won't spoil anything. Like I said, it's quite a fun little game, so give it a try. Next up we have Claire Extended Cut, which is one of the more recent games. Claire is a horror game with a pixel art style, which has a surprising amount of atmosphere. You play as the titular Claire, who is trying to work out what has happened after a strange event happens while she's in the hospital. The game deals with some very dark themes, and this is reflected perfectly through the art style. The game does very little hand-holding, and it is up to you to work out what to do. Don't let this put you off though, as there are some great guides available online that will walk you through the platinum step by step if you prefer to play the game like that. If you're a fan of creepy psychological horror and quick and easy platinums, this game is perfect for you. Dave the Tentacle is the first of 3 Tim Schafer games on this list. Originally this game was released in 1993 for the PC, back when people still used MS-DOS. Man, that was such a simpler time. Don't let the game's age put you off though. The graphics have been updated and the comedy and writing is still as funny as ever. The game has a lot of missable trophies, so using a guide is highly recommended if you want to get the platinum in one playthrough. But on the flip side, I wouldn't advise rushing through the game, you'll miss all of the good stuff. You'll want to take your time and enjoy it, especially if you didn't get to play it the first time around. Next on the list we have Rime. If you like games like Journey, where you are given no explanation as to where you are, what's going on and what you should be doing, you'll love Rime. Rime is a game that is a joy to explore. The visuals are stunning, so most of the time you'll just be wandering around taking it all in. To me, Rime felt like a cross between Journey and Uncharted, minus the murder, as you'll be doing similar platforming to that of Uncharted while solving puzzles and finding collectibles. The bulk of the trophies for Rime are based on collectibles or completing a certain task in a certain location. There are no missable trophies as the game has chapter select, so I would advise you play through the unique story, which culminates in a very moving ending, before concentrating on the trophies. Super Exploding Zoo has a very strange concept, but it works, and it's a fun little puzzle game that you can get through in a day. You control various different animals and you have to stop the alien monsters getting to the egg in each level. You do this by using the animals you are controlling as explosives. I told you it was a strange concept. The game does have 4 online trophies. They aren't difficult, but you will need to find a boosting partner to help you, unless you own a Vita. Then you can boost them by yourself without a second account. All of the trophies are simple enough. Plus, if you don't want to, you don't have to complete the game. You only need to do 60 out of the 80 puzzles, and that's just to unlock the whole hub world for a certain trophy. Give this game a go and you'll be surprised at how satisfying and fun it is. Next is Grim Fandango, which is another Tim Schafer game. I remember when this game came out back in '98 on the PC. I remember seeing it on the cover of PC Gamer and having played Curse of Monkey Island the previous year thinking, I need to play this game. In my opinion, Grim Fandango holds up even better than Day of the Tentacle. That is until you read the trophy list and spot the Right Way trophy, which is for completing the game using the original tank style controls. My god, am I glad games don't use this style of movement anymore. It's definitely something that will take some getting used to. Most of the trophies in the game are missable, so again, if you want to get through as quickly as possible in one playthrough, you'll need to use a guide. If you don't, it will drastically increase the platinum time of 10 hours. I was so happy that I was able to play this game again, especially now that it has trophies. I cannot recommend it enough. Do you like walking really slowly through the English countryside? Yes? Then Everybody's Gone to the Rapture is a game you should play? I put a question mark at the end of play then, because I don't think you play a game like Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, you experience it. I think the trophies reflect that too. A lot of them are unlocked by interacting with the world around you in certain ways, like Howard's Train, which are for playing with Howard's Train set. There are also a lot of collectible trophies, but not in the traditional sense. You have to do things like read all of the You Are Here maps and note all of the train numbers around the village. There is more to see and do in Everybody's Gone to the Rapture than you initially think. It's a very unique experience, especially for anyone who lives in the English countryside like I do, as it's not your typical setting for a video game. The Deadly Tower of Monsters is yet another unique game, not for its gameplay, that's as generic as they come, but the aesthetic. It feels like old Star Trek mixed with the old B movies of that era. You're basically playing through a movie as it's being shot, and you have a director's commentary over the top of the soundtrack, explaining what's going on in each scene. It's quite funny in places. This is one of the easiest and shortest games on this list, clocking in at 5 or 6 hours. There are no missable trophies, as you can teleport anywhere on the tower once you have finished the game. I can't recommend this game on the strength of its gameplay, but if you're looking for another quick and easy platinum, which let's face it, you probably are, that's why you're watching this video, I can at least recommend it for that reason. Next up we have Broken Age, the last Tim Schafer game on this list. Unlike the other Tim Schafer games on this list, this is not a remaster, it is a relatively new game compared to the other two. It also marks Tim Schafer's return to the point-and-click genre, the last of his games in this genre being Grim Fandango in 1998. As with the two previous games, there are a lot of missable trophies, so once again a guide is advisable if you're trying to get through the platinum in one playthrough. You will need to play the game twice, but the second time will be a speed run, so you won't have time to do any other trophies. Broken Age has a great story that is told in a really interesting way. I'm not going to spoil anything, but there's a pretty cool twist halfway through. Finally, we have my personal favourite game on the list, and that's Strider. Strider is so stylish it feels like a modern game, but you can tell its roots are in the past. It controls beautifully with jumping and climbing feeling natural. Running through the levels waving your sword around in front of you chopping enemies in half is one of the most satisfying things you can do in a game. For the platinum you will need to play through the game twice, firstly on hard difficulty followed by a speed run. Don't worry though, the game is easy, even though the boss fights may feel a bit cheap in places, and the speed run time of 4 hours is more than doable. If you haven't played Strider yet, go and do so now. You can do, it's basically the end of the video anyway. You're not missing much. Right, that's the list. I hope you found a few games on here that interest you. I will be making some more videos like this in the future, so subscribe if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.